Immorality, anti-Semitism, and replacement theology are eroding the foundations of biblical Christianity. Hoyavel presents the Heartland Connection, where Christians are equipped to walk out the truth in God's Word and to support the land and people of Israel.
Shalom and welcome to the Heartland Connection. We're so happy to have you guys here with us today. Today we have a very special program. We're going to be studying about the Feast of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles. And we have here with us today Orthodox Jewish Rabbi Yonadav Zar. Welcome, Rabbi Yonadav.
Shalom, Zach.
All right, so I'm really excited about the study of Sukkot. The feasts are such happy and joyful times, so I'm really excited about studying this with you today. So we'll start with the basics. Rabbi Yonadav, can you tell us, what is the biblical festival of Sukkot?
Okay. According to the Torah, to the Bible, we have three festivals that we celebrate along the year. The first one is Pesach, Passover. We celebrate it on the first month, Nisan, and it's the time of the Exodus, when we exit from Egypt. The second one is Shavuot, on the third month, Sivan, when we accepted the Torah. And the third one is Sukkot, that there is no known meaning of the date that something happened on this date, and is to remind us the journey on the desert when we lived on Tabernacles, Sukkot,
Right.
But we lived on Tabernacles 40 years, all the seasons, all the years.
Right.
So it's not like Passover on the day of the Exodus, Shavuot on the day of the acceptance of Torah. But it's just to remind us, and the date is because we first of all, of course, God said, 15 of the 7th month, Tishrei, but also it's the date on the year, the season of the year, that if you exit to the tabernacle, it's strange. Because if it's summer and everyone exit to the tabernacle, so no one can know that you celebrate something. And if it's winter, it's too difficult. God doesn't want us to suffer.
Right.
So the end of the summer, before the winter, we exit to the tabernacle. And also, this is the time of the harvest, collecting the fruits, and it's time very happy, joyful. So this is time to celebrate and to tell God it's all from you. And sometimes because of the wealth of the fruits, one can think that he's strong and can do everything alone. And God say, okay, leave your house, your big, strong house that you build, and live in the sukkah and be modest. And thank God for your life, for your wealth, for your fruits, for everything. So this is the third festival. We celebrate it, like we said, on the 15th of the 7th month, before the winter. And we have two main laws of this festival in our days. When the temple built, so we have also special sacrifices. But now we have two laws that we obey. One is to build the tabernacle and live in the tabernacle 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
And the second is to hold every day of the 7 days the 4 species.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's the etrog.
Mm-hmm.
How do you call it? Etrog?
Etrog, yeah. Etrog.
Okay, okay. Lulav, it's the branch of the date tree.
Mm-hmm. Like the palm branch.
Yes. And the third is Hadass.
Mm-hmm. Which is myrtle.
How do you
I
say
think.
it?
A myrtle.
Myrtle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Arava. The fourth one.
Yeah, let's see. So it's myrtle, palm, and what's the other one? It's like a willow branch.
Willow branch.
Yeah.
Okay. And we hold it, and to raise them together, this is a mitzvah. This is the law. And we love this mitzvah, so we hold it in our prayer and sometimes in our tabernacle because of the love.
Yeah, it's always amazing during Sukkot. You go out to the shops and the stores, and they have all the etrogs laying out and the palm branches in the different sets, or you can buy each one individually, and everybody's looking at them and trying to find a really nice one and putting their sets together so that they have their lulav ready for celebrating and rejoicing before God. And I was just looking, and the verse here is Leviticus 23 in verse 40. It actually mentions those specific ones that you just did. So I just want to tell everybody that too, that right here in the Bible it says to take those things and rejoice. And so that's the custom there. That's really amazing to see. And if you go down to the Western Wall, and you can see thousands of people there, with their lulavs and praying and rejoicing before God. It's an amazing thing here in the land of Israel. All right, so we have the building the sukkah, building the tabernacle, and then we have the lulav. Maybe you can explain a little bit more about the tabernacle. What does that look like when you build that? As you build it with your family in your yard or on your porch, or what does that look like? And can you tell us a little bit about what that looks like with your family?
Okay, the main rule of this tabernacle, the sukkah, is that it has to be under the sky, without tree or a house or anything on it.
Okay.
Even high, nothing.
Okay.
Direct toward the sky.
Right under the stars.
Yes, and it has to be with walls. Can be any kind of walls. And the roof has to be from plants, but cut from the land.
Okay. So not like a grapevine that's grown
That's
up
right.
over. It has to be like cut down, and usually it's like palm branches or other tree branches, something like that.
Everything, yes. So this is the tabernacle, and think of it. To the whole week, we have to live in tabernacle. Sometimes the community, the society, the culture become freeze without the ability to think openly, to change, to recognize the new challenges and change the life toward the new challenges. And the house, the hard, the strong house symbolize it. I'm in my house. The walls are strong, and I can't go now to another place. I can't change my life. And the tabernacle says, I can leave my house. I can live in tabernacle for a week. It's okay. If need, I can change my life toward the challenges, toward worshiping God. I can change. I'm dynamic. Wow. It's like change the conscious.
To help you think outside the box or outside of your,
That's
of your
right.
home. It's the same,
Exactly.
same kind of idea. Wow, that's really good. Are there any other special customs during Sukkot? Are those the main ones? The other things that you do?
Okay. Before we talk about another customs, the first species
Yeah.
is, first of all, is to connect all the growing to worshiping God. And there are 4 species that we used to say that are symbolized different people in the society. Because we have the etrog that has great smell, scent,
Scent or smell, yeah.
and also good taste, like lemon. And we have the palm tree, the date, that has great taste, but almost no smell. We have the hadass,
The myrtle.
that has great smell, but without taste. And the willow, without taste, without smell, almost. So we say that it symbolizes 4 different people in the society. There are people that learn Torah and make good deeds, mitzvot. This is a etrog. We have someone who just learn Torah, just taste like the date. One who just make good deeds like hadass, myrtle.
Myrtle.
And one who has no Torah and has no good deeds, like the willow. And we take them all together.
Wow.
The unity of the people. Because everyone has his advantage. Even the willow, without Torah and without good deeds, has the power of growing. There is no other species in our 4 species like the willow that grow fast and it's very important power that even the one who learned Torah and did good, do that and make good deeds need it. So they have to be all together and to learn one from another and to honor each other.
Wow.
The unity.
Wow, such a good lesson, especially in today's culture when everybody's kind of, there's like a push that everybody would be the same. And it's like, no, if we can all recognize each one's gift, each one's role, and work together, then we can actually accomplish so much more and be so much more fulfilled as individuals that are different. We don't need to be all cookie cutter, the same types. We need to be different, fulfill our specific roles. So I think that's, great lesson.
Yes.
And I think it's interesting with that, so that's kind of my next question here is why is this festival specifically meaningful for the nations? And maybe this kind of ties into that as well. All the different pieces. We have the Jewish people, we have the nations, different kinds of nations. So can you tell us a little bit about why Sukkot specifically is meaningful for the nations?
Okay, first of all, we have on the prophets that tabernacles, all the nations will celebrate. So it's connected to the nations on the verses. Second, also we have, it's special for Sukkot, that we have a lot of cows
and bulls
that we have to sacrifice on Sukkot. From the first day, 13 bulls, to the last day, 7 bulls. And when we calculate all of them together, it's 70 bulls. And we learn that it's significant, symbolize the nations, 70 nations. It's like to pray in the temple and sacrifices for all the nations, to bring them to be participants of our worshiping of God in the temple. And also, this is the last festival. It's like to remind us our goal, our final goal, to help all the nations. Sometimes we are so focused on our daily work that we forget our final goal. So the last festival reminds us when we collect all our wealth from the fields to remember the goal of all that.
Wow. And what a beautiful picture that is, that in Zechariah, right? Zechariah 14 talks about the nations coming up to the temple and to Israel, to Jerusalem. What an amazing picture that is of reaching that final goal when the nations are coming and worshiping the God of Israel in a very physical, literal place in Jerusalem. Just amazing to think about what that might look like and what it will look like one day. Amazing thing. So I was just thinking about that too. Maybe that's one thing you can tell us is the Bible talks about the 3 feasts that you go up to Jerusalem for. Do all the Jewish people go up to Jerusalem during Sukkot now, or how does that work?
No, this mitzvah to come to Jerusalem on the festivals, it's only commit,
like obligated
when the temple is built. Okay. So now we can go, and it's a good good thing to do in the festivals, but it's not obligated.
Okay.
But we have a week of sitting at home or a tabernacle, and we should not work. So we must use it for learning Torah. Because if we want to improve our life, to improve the world, we must learn Torah to know how to do that. And when can we learn Torah if we are working all the day? So we have the Shabbat every week, and also we have the festivals that we can devote for learning Torah.
Wow. And it's so beautiful to go around and everybody's visiting each other's Sukkot and bringing food and celebrating and the sukkahs are all very decorated with the children go in and put all kinds of decorations on the walls.
Yes.
And I guess there's supposed to be at least 3 walls on the sukkah, is that right?
That's right.
So one side can be open.
Yes, even 1.5 can be open. But on the other hand, we must do it comfortable to live in it for a week.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone makes sukkah according to the most low demands,
Mm-hmm.
and after that he leaves the sukkah because it's not comfortable, he loses the mitzvah. So we try to do it, even if we can use only 3 walls, we used to do it very comfortable. 4 walls with door.
Mm-hmm.
We can leave open a place for entrance.
Mm-hmm.
We prefer to make door that we can close it. And if we can do it with a close for a cats, that we can leave, we can sleep there without problems, it's better. And like you said, we decorate it because we have principle that every law, every mitzvah has to be nice. So we also decorate it. And yes, it's very nice festival to live for a week out with the family, of course, and
The
learn
extended
together
family.
and play together. Everything in the sukkah.
Wow. Amazing. And does everybody take off work the whole week, or some people work some days in the middle in Israel? How does that work with all the families?
Everyone's supposed to stop working unless if it's work that used for the festival.
Okay.
And not everyone obey, but this is the law.
Okay. So the goal is to be able to put all the work away for the whole week and stay at home, study the Bible, spend time with the family, rejoice,
That's right.
eat good food from the harvest,
That's right.
and enjoy yourselves. Wow. It's really, really great.
And of course, to thank God for all our bless.
Yeah, I love that in Deuteronomy, I think it's chapter 16, that it says, rejoice, 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 over and over again in the feast. And it's such an amazing picture of God wanting us to be blessed and rejoice and be able to dance and sing and take those times for rejoicing is really good. Okay, so one more question here is, so there's 7 days of Sukkot, and then there's an additional 8th day, or how does that work? Is it a separate festival? Is it connected to Sukkot? How does the 8th day tie in with everything else?
Good question. We call it the 8th day, but we consider it different festival. If we test it by the sacrifices, so we talked about the bulls, that on Sukkot we sacrifice on the first day 13, on the last day 7, and the 8th day just 1. So it's different festival.
Okay.
One bull like on Rosh Hashanah and on Yom Kippur. One bull. Because on the festivals, Passover and Shavuot, we sacrifice 2 bulls each. And Sukkot, the end, 70 bulls on 7 days. And Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Shmini Atzeret, the 8th day, just 1 bull. So it's another set of days.
Okay.
And we did not mention it, but also we have a unique prayer for the festivals, like the sacrifices. We call it Musaf, to add. The added sacrifices. Like that, we have the added prayer.
Okay.
Prayer Musaf, to add, lehosif. So we pray Musaf, and on the prayer we mention the unique sacrifices of this day. And the 8th day of Sukkot, Shmini Atzeret, it's like we have such midrash that says, God told us, after 7 days with all the nations, I want 1 day with you. Because, it's very interesting, because we can be captive of the great idea of celebrate with the nations and forget that the way to this place is long way, and we can celebrate all together before we have finished to build our model, our method, how to bring the blessed to all the nations. So we must remember our goal with all the nations, and we must remember our difficult way to reach this place.
Yeah, makes sense. And so on the 8th day, do you still stay in the sukkah, or
No,
you don't stay in the sukkah
no
anymore?
sukkah and no four species.
Okay.
And also, we have a late custom to read all the Torah in 1 year, and we finish it on the 8th day,
Right.
and then we celebrate the finish of reading of the Torah. It's
Okay.
a very, very happy day.
So that's the Simchat Torah, like
Right.
rejoicing in the Torah.
Right.
Okay. And so how long has that tradition come about? So it's not written in the Bible
No,
text. It's just
it's
because you
not
finished
written.
the whole year cycle.
Right.
So that around
We know that there was custom in the Holy Land on the days of the Talmud to read the Torah once of 3 years.
right.
And later custom in Bavel to read it each year.
Okay. So it
And
wasn't
now
until-
we used to read it every year.
Okay, so nobody's on the 3-year cycle
No.
anymore. Everybody does the
No,
1
no.
year. And so then everybody celebrates when they finished reading the whole thing on the 8th day. After Sukkot, then they celebrate. So what does that look like? So you finish Sukkot.
Right.
And
We finish
the
Sukkot.
sun goes down.
Right. On the 7th day, the sun goes down, and then we accept the new festival of the 8th day,
Right.
and we're going to the synagogue to pray and come back to our... Okay. On the synagogue, on the prayer, we read in the Torah in the evening. It's very unique
Okay.
to read in the evening.
All throughout Sukkot or only on the 8th?
Only the 8th day,
Okay.
we read in the evening.
Okay.
And then we dance with the Torah. We call it 7 rounds, hakafot, to round the center of the synagogue 7 times. We don't round just 7 times. We call it 7 times, but each time it's like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It can be very long. And after that, we come back to our houses to eat the meal of the festival. And in the morning, we make the 7 rounds much longer,
Okay.
almost
wow.
all the day.
Wow.
And we read the portion, Vezot HaBracha, the last portion.
Okay.
And also we have custom to let everyone in the community to read Everyone who knows to bless, even children, can read on the Torah. And after that, all the children that can't bless because they don't know, they come all together around the Torah, the Sefer Torah, and one of the educators of the community read in the Torah, and they all stand around him. And when he read, when he blessed, they say word after word with him, and then he read in the name of all of them. And it's like the day that everyone read in the Torah.
Wow, amazing. Well, it looks like we've run out of time. Thank you, Rabbi Yonadav. This has been a great study about Sukkot and the 8th day, Simchat Torah. Thank you for sharing with us these things. We really, really appreciate it. Hope you guys have enjoyed studying today with Rabbi Yonadav. If you have any feedback, you can send me an email at zach@hayuvel.com. I'd love to hear from you guys. And Chag Sukkot Sameach from us here on Har Bracha, from the beautiful, exceedingly good